Hi, I'm Tom Hendrickson from the Agile Online Summit, and we are partnering with the leaders in the community to bring you the Scrum Master Summit. We are joined today by Rahul Bhattacharya, the track curator for the Common Product Owner Blind Spots track. So Rahul, introduce yourself to the people here at the Agile Online Summit.
Hey, Tom. Yeah, thanks for speaking to me. My name is Rahul Bhattacharya. As Tom mentioned, I'm hosting the Common Product Owner Blind Spots track. And I thought this would be an interesting topic or an interesting angle, especially when you look at the Scrum Master role, because this is one of those other roles in the Scrum team that you really work closely with as a Scrum Master. So I thought it would be interesting to have a representation that looks at and maybe talks about the relationship between these two roles and how Scrum Masters, wherever they are in their journey, can benefit from working with a product owner and maybe some blind spots that they've seen, right? So that the product owner can as well be aware of them to help this synergy between those two roles.
Yeah, those two roles are so important, Rahul, aren't they, in the relationship of that Scrum team being successful?
Yeah, absolutely. And as a Scrum Master, your role is as a servant leader. So you are serving not just the team, but also the product owner and the greater organization that you're a part of, right? So a common misconception that I hear from a lot of Scrum Masters that are starting off is that their role is to serve the team. Yes, that is true, but it goes far beyond that as well. And you can't serve a team properly until you build these relationships with people like the product owner, people like your designers, people from different practices outside of your team as well. And so these are some of the topics that I try to cover in this track. We have awesome talks from people like Roman Pickler, Martin Dahlman, Alex Blau, and Kamal Perumal. And so what we try to do in these different talks is explore different parts of this relationship between the Scrum Master and the product owner.
Yeah, that's a good track you have there. It sounds like you have an all-star team there, Rahul.
Yeah, it's great. It's been great. All the guests have been really entertaining. It's great to as well hear the new perspectives for me. And I've been in this role for around a decade, but I still learn something new every day from these types of conversations. So for me personally, it has been a great experience, not only being part of organizing this summit, but also getting the chance to speak with these really talented speakers who have a lot to share.
Yeah, I agree that when you do things like this, it's just great to rub shoulders with these leaders, these thought leaders in the industry like yourself that have a different and a unique background, right, Rahul?
Yes, absolutely. And right before this call, we were just talking about, living in different countries and traveling, and hopefully we'll be able to get back to that soon. But it's always great, right, when we explore the more personal side of human being, of Scrum Masters, of any role, really. For me, it comes into, and it speaks a lot about your values, not just within an organization, but who you are as a human being, what you represent. And I'd like to believe that rubs off on people for the better.
Yeah, because it's interesting, like you mentioned that, Rahul. I think Scrum Masters and product owners really need to understand how people look up to them because they're leaders of the Scrum team and other like coaches and things as well. That example we set is so important.
Yeah, and I see, it's really interesting, Tom. I see coaching, Scrum Mastery as a two-way street, right? So it's not, as a coach, you're always being coached as well on the topic from your teammates, from other Scrum Masters, from product owners. So it's really interesting to look at this role and to look at any role as a two-way street where you're, obviously you're being brought in to coach the team, to coach the product owner, and to coach these other individuals and teams. But at the same time, you're expanding your own skill set by being part of different situations and by talking about topics that you may not know a lot about, or, as you said, rubbing shoulders with other people who have really cool insights to share with you. So yeah, I definitely see it as this two-way street for myself as well as for the other people involved.
Yeah. I think that's why that makes me so excited, Rahul, as you mentioned all this about really getting into the Scrum Master Summit and enjoying all the great talks in your track and then a lot of the other talks as well.
Yeah, definitely. And the summit as a whole, I would say, this is definitely one of the more appealing parts of it, right? Interacting with your peers from different time zones, from different countries, from different backgrounds. Beyond the talks, there's so much potential to learn from each other. And that's what really excites me about being part of such an event, such a really global online event.
Yeah, you are so right. It's global. And we have live sessions going almost all throughout the whole day. There's a lot to offer.
Definitely. And yeah, I'm going to try and sneak in to those live sessions as well. A bunch of my talks were recorded, but to take full advantage, I definitely recommend the listeners and everyone that's part of this summit to try and interact in those live sessions.
Yeah, so true. Rahul, thanks for coming on. Any closing thoughts as we wrap?
Thanks, Tom. Yeah, I think as people sort of look forward to this event, as we were talking about earlier, it's really cool that you have representations and individuals from different backgrounds. So, I would kind of echo what we just talked about in the past 5 or 10 minutes. Try to interact with as many people as you can. Try to learn from each other. If you see someone from an industry that you've never heard of using something like Scrum or Agile, even more the reason to go say hi to them, to go have an interaction with them, and as well take it offline, right? So don't restrict yourself and your interactions to just the summit. Use this as a starting point to build relationships with others in the space. And I think to me, that's where the magic happens, right? Beyond, talking about Agile or Scrum or anything, interactions are the things that really bring the magic in your personal development and your professional development. So that's what I would suggest to the people that are hoping to be a part of this summit, is to interact as much as possible, both during and after the summit.
Excellent. Appreciate the conversation, Rahul. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Tom.
On behalf of Rahul Bhattacharya, I am Tom Henriksen for the Agile Online Summit.